Hi there, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast.
For 15 years now, we've been proudly helping breeders promote hundreds of thousands of pedigree livestock with our easy-to-use animal management-driven website software.
And let's not forget about Hired Hand Live, where over $1 million worth of livestock is sold online each year.
We're excited to bring you market trends, sales data, advice from your fellow breeders, and stories from the ranch.
Our software makes managing your website and your animals a breeze, so you can focus on what you love.
So let us handle your digital chores while you tune in to another episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand. Welcome to this episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand. Today we're visiting the beautiful pastures of LTJ Longhorns in the sunny panhandle of Florida. My guest is Travis Johnson, and I'm your host, Molly Clubb. I'm excited to take you on another journey into the world of Texas Longhorn and the breeders who care for them. Thank you for joining me today, Travis.
Thank you for having me.
What's the weather like in Florida?
It's warm today. It's 75. Tomorrow, I think our high is 50, so it drops down a little bit tomorrow. But we're getting a little bit of rain finally, which is well needed. We're always 3 days within a drought here in Florida, so with the sandy soil, so it's always welcomed.
Well, that's good. Well, why don't you start by telling me a little bit about how you ended up raising Texas Longhorns in Florida?
Me and my family, or myself in general, we bought 250 acres, and it was mostly wooded area. And I was told Longhorns was the best way to clean it up, and so we purchased 6 Longhorns from a gentleman, and after putting them in the woods or whatever to clean up the land for us, I was lucky enough to live within about 15 miles of Terry King. And so I went over and started picking his mind a little bit and decided, all right, this is a way I would like to go. And I've always was raised with black cows, commercial cows. So it was a different route. My dad thought I was crazy at first, but it's worked out well for us. And that's the initial way I started with my first few Longhorns was an experiment, but it's totally changed now. Now the land we bulldozed, and we've got another 250 acres of pasture land completely ready to go.
Well, I noticed on your website there's another group of Johnsons that are part of the ranch. Is that your parents? Are they involved?
They are. My parents are 81 and 79, and I call them my ranch hands. We always laugh about going to meetings and stuff, and everybody has these young ranch hands, and they're always asked who helps me, and my parents will walk in. I said, "There's my 2 ranch hands." So yeah, they help me out a lot. I'm very, very fortunate to have them.
And is that how your ranch name came to be by chance, or tell me a little bit about the LTJ?
All the guys in our family had the initials LTJ. My real name's Lonnie, but I go by Travis. So, and my dad's LT, my brother's Luke Tomlin, and I had a son. His name was Landon Tyler, and my brother has 2 boys, and they're Logan and Landry. So it's just a name. So it just felt like it fitted in well.
Well, one thing I picked up on there when you were talking about getting started is you got to go visit Terry King and see his herd. I feel like as a new breeder who just kind of stumbled into Longhorns, a lot of folks would be jealous about that statement you made there. So tell me a little bit about if you knew the wealth of the advice you were getting right from the start, or if you just kind of happened upon it because he's close to you geographically. Talk me through that story.
I do a business where I deal with a lot of farmers. And I had asked around, does anybody know anybody that does Longhorns? And they said, well, there's a gentleman, Terry King, super nice guy. So I called him one day, and of course, Terry was open arms, come see me. So me and my wife and went over and sat down with him and Tammy and rode around his pasture. And no, at the time I didn't know. Actually, I didn't know what to think of Terry because he was so nice. And usually when you meet people that nice, you just kind of get like, what's he up to? But now, after knowing Terry for quite a few years, Terry's just a good dude. He's been a great mentor for me. But no, at the time, I didn't know what I was getting into or who I was talking to. But yes, everybody that comes and visits the farm, they always tell me how lucky I am to live as close as I am to him and Jimmy. Jimmy's only a couple hours away from me. So, yes, I'm very lucky. At the time, I didn't know, but I'm very fortunate.
So that day that you got to go there and tour their place and meet them, were you just kind of trying to educate yourself more about what breeding strategies you wanted to use, or did you leave there with a few head, or how did that go?
I actually knew nothing about breeding Longhorns at the time, and we probably spent 4 or 5 hours at Terry's. Didn't purchase anything that day. Just Terry driving around, showing me, the difference between sisters coming from the same mama, and just educating me. But it was just so much at one time. It took a while. Many times I go to Terry's probably once a week still, or he comes to my place, but. Yeah, I didn't buy anything that day, but just trying to soak anything in. Didn't gather much about breeding because I didn't know, that much about the specifics of breeding of Longhorns at the time. But oh yes, over the past 2 years, I've been very educated from him.
Talk to me a little bit about that journey. Tell me, once you met with him and you knew you kind of had been bit with the Longhorn bug, where did you go from there, and how have you grown till today?
What Terry told me the best thing to do is, he goes, if you're going to be serious in it, is you have to load up with me in the truck or follow me and let's start going to futurities, to sales. And the first year, I think me and Terry went to 6 or 7, the Kentuckys, the Texas and Oklahomas, and just meeting people. And it was just overwhelming. It's just like anything, I guess. You're overwhelmed with how much material's thrown at you at one time. And you look at all these people that I was meeting, and I was like, oh my God, how do they know so much about they know every bull, they know every cow, Now I've been doing it for 2 years. This past year, I think me and Terry went to 13 different sales throughout. We've been from Wisconsin. And yes, I'm far from knowing everything, but I do know most of the bulls or know of them, and most of the cows. It's a new journey that I'm taking, and I don't like to fail it much, so I'm addicted, I guess, like most people. I've grown a long ways in 2 years, and Terry keeps telling me, be patient, be patient, be patient, but I'm not a very patient man. I want everything now, but I know it takes time.
How many head are you up to today?
With the calving, when I finish calving, I'll be close to 50.
And tell me about some of the bloodlines that you've started with and kind of some of what your breeding strategies are.
After I initially got rid of the first 6, and kind of culled them out, I started off with the bloodlines of, I got a couple cows from Terry, and I got a cow from Jimmy Jones. They were already bred with their bulls at Hanging Tough at the time. So I really didn't know what I had at that time when I first got them. So over this past year, I have went around to different breeders, and my goal was I wanted a well built cow from different breeders, and so mine and Terry's first visit, I think our first visit was with Bob Loomis. My goal was to purchase young heifers, and instead of buying 5 or 6 old cows, so I could start them young and breed them like I wanted. And so I bought a young heifer from Bob, and then we went and visited Chris Hesse's, and I bought a cow from Chris. And over the time, I purchased from Randy Murray, a few from Wayne Manning, and I'm sure I've left some people out. But yeah, Hudson Longhorns. And I'm just trying to, instead of having one bloodline, I was trying to bring different bloodlines in so I could use different bulls, some of Terry's bulls, some of Jimmy's bulls, and then I've now purchased into some bulls. So I'm trying not to focus on one bloodline down the road. I'm trying to keep my options open, I guess is the best way to explain it.
Well, folks listening who are familiar with Terry and Tammy's breeding or Jimmy Jones breeding, this answer will probably be kind of obvious. But if you had to kind of list out maybe the top 3 to 5 traits that you're aiming for with your bloodlines, what are they?
Of course, you'd love to match them two, but Jimmy's on a whole nother level. Terry's on a whole nother level. I'm very impressed with a few people. Wayne Manning and me have become good friends. He's not been in it, as long as most, but I love how I pick his brain, and he's addicted as much as I am. I pick his brain a lot about me being young into this and trying to get my bloodlines and what bulls to get involved in and so forth. So, him and Randy Murray and And I pick Ryan Culpepper's brain a lot, and Mike Willinger at Hudson. So I reach out to a lot of these people that are a lot smarter in this business than I am. And I'm not afraid to admit it.
What's some of the advice that they've given you that you're willing to share with us?
Slow down, be patient. Don't go. It's better to have a core of 5 to 10 good cows instead of having a quantity. Quality is a lot better than quantity in this, and it's hard. I try to slow down, but it's every sale you go to, you find one you like. And but yes, their biggest thing, all of them telling me, is to just be patient. You're only in year 2, and you've got plenty of time. But I'm trying. It's hard for me.
So when you went to those 13 events this past year, did you participate in any of them?
Yes, I had futurity animals that we hauled to every one of them. I ended up Gypsy Rose and Checkered Now ended up in the top 25 at the finals. So I've been happy. Still hadn't won my buckle yet, or I did win first place in Georgia this year, but I've been close, second quite a few times, and third, but I hadn't won my buckle yet. Still trying.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Hey, if you love From the Pasture with Hired Hand, why not go check out my podcast, The Big Iron Podcast with Andrew Shigori, where we dive into the world of registered Texas Longhorns and what it means to be an agriculture entrepreneur in the modern world, with a little southern flair, of course. Find The Big Iron Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Planning a live auction and want to reach more buyers? Hired Hand Live brings the power of the internet to your event, allowing bidders from anywhere to participate in real time. We specialize in integrating online bidding seamlessly with your live auction, ensuring that no one misses out.
Your livestock plus our technical expertise equals one successful auction. Let Hired Hand Live help you expand your reach and maximize your results. Visit hiredhandlive.com to learn more.
From the Pasture by Hired Hand is presented by R3 Hilltop Ranch. Located in Chilton, Texas, R3 Hilltop Ranch has been breeding registered Texas Longhorns since 2006. What began as 3 heifers has grown into our current herd, which you can explore on our website at r3hilltop.com. We're passionate about loud colors, longhorns, and docile temperaments. But it's the easy-keeping, low-maintenance traits of Texas Longhorns that initially attracted us and continue to drive our herd growth. In addition to livestock, we proudly offer certified Longhorn beef products. Visit r3hilltop.com/beef to learn more. Thank you for listening and enjoy exploring our ranch online at r3hilltop.com.
Well, what does the future look like? If you had to outline the next few years, what would some of your goals be? What are some of your plans for maybe events you haven't been to that you want to attend?
Well, one big event I do want to go to is, and I don't know how the drive would be atrocious, but I'd love to go to Oregon. I've never been, and Ryan Culpepper has told me many times how beautiful it is, and that's one event. I'm not sure, probably have to fly to it just because of the distance. My goals is just stay focused on the path I'm taking. Try not to just want to purchase. Because I'm getting a good nucleus. Everyone tells me. Sometimes I doubt myself, but Terry and everybody tells me I'm doing good. But my goal is just stay focused and use the bulls and use the AI and programs and try to build around the nucleus of the cows I have.
What does the next few years look like in terms of size of your herd?
My goal is to keep mine within 50 to 75 head, just because everybody knows it's not hard to go from 20 to 40 overnight. But I believe somewhere around that number would be good for me. I just believe all the bloodlines and traits is hard to, and yes, some of these guys can do it. I just, right now, because I'm not educated enough, I need to keep it a little smaller than most.
Well, I think you might be a little unique in how you again, touching on how you kind of lucked out with some of the breeders near you, but also taking the approach of attending some of those events before you ever purchased, your registered herd. Talk to me a little bit about how important you think that community and networking and learning from other breeders are in terms of not only fostering relationships, but helping you reach your goals, getting you where you want to be.
Oh, I believe it's everything. I mean, I believe that's the key to it all in this industry. Networking is everything because without it, you don't get educated. You don't get outside your box. You don't learn more than where you're at. But the networking and everything is the key of this business. And I've yet to run into anybody that's not willing to give me some education on the cows or telling me what they think I should do, what bull should go better with this cow, or or so forth. Yeah, the networking and everything is the key to this business, I believe.
So you're actually my guest on another podcast, which is talking about kind of the benefits of affiliates. And so without getting into too much detail here, just touch on briefly how important you think affiliates are, especially to those kind of outlying areas, right? Like those who maybe aren't located in that real bulk of the breeders in Texas and Oklahoma.
Affiliates are very key in our industry because, yes, the TLBA is awesome. It's great. But I believe the smaller, like our Southeast, the SETLA, some people are not scared, but they're intimidated to go on and ask TLBAA questions or ask for advice. Where if you have your affiliates, you're not near scared because we're almost like neighbors in a way and friends, a lot more closer than you would be with somebody from Northeast Texas or something, and you're not afraid to ask what they call a stupid or dumb question, which it's not. So I believe affiliates are very, very, very important in this business.
Let's talk a little bit more about how you're raising Longhorns in kind of a non-traditional area, or what some folks might think non-traditional. What are some obstacles you face just being a breeder in Florida that, again, maybe those breeders in other parts of the nation aren't facing?
Well, besides the distance, everything we do, I joke around with Terry all the time. I said I got into a business where everything we do is it's nothing to drive 10 hours now. I mean, we kind of a little bit of an outcast because we can't. People have to go out of their way to come see our farms or our herds, and they can't just like go around and see. You're not within 2 or 3 hours. But I'm fortunate because in the Southeast here, I believe is where the Longhorn industry kind of like the main part is with Terry and Jimmy and Nancy and so forth. So I'm lucky there, but it does hurt a little bit that we're so far out. Everything, the AI programs, Transova and to get a bull collected, it's a little bit more challenging for us than most because in our area, cows with horns is not a good thing. Me and Terry are the crazies of the bunch. That's how our locals see us. Like y'all are crazy for raising those cows with horns on their head and stuff. But it is challenging. But if you're willing to put in the time, and I'm very fortunate that we own our own business where I'm able to take off and do it. But it is challenging, but it's something that you can do.
Are there any things that you have to do differently, like sustainability wise, or because of the landscape, or maybe even your pen or your ranch setup? Is there anything unique there?
No, we can. We do not have access to the oil rig pipes and stuff like they do in Texas. So we build a lot of our stuff out of wood, or we order pens to be shipped in from long ways. But our grass is different. We don't have alfalfa. Our cows aren't used to it. We use Bahia grass here. But we are fortunate enough where we can keep them grazing year round. Like right now, we have winter crops planted, grazing, and it's already growing. And we don't go through that cold winters like everybody else. So we're able to keep our cows, I think, a little slicker, keep a little bit more weight on them then. And it doesn't cost us probably quite as much money as it does in other areas having to feed hay as much and stuff too.
Do you try to keep all of your breeding cycles consistent with all of the others that you see, for calves outside at the sales and that sort of stuff? Or do you run a different type there?
No, that's another downfall about where we live is we love to breed from about December the 1st through March or April because we can't have July and August babies here. I mean, you can, but it's just rough on moms when it's 100 plus degrees. So with the humidity it is. So we usually breed, and we love to have September, October, November, December babies. So it is a little difficult. Like I bought a cow from Jason Hardy from up in Utah, and I felt so bad for the mama. She did well. We put her in shade and kept her in her own pen water, but she had a baby in August, and it's tough on them. But that's the only bad thing about buying cows at a sale from someone up north. But as long as you only buy one or two, you can usually get them in the same rotation with the rest of them.
And now let's hear from our advertisers.
Do you sometimes feel like you're the only one who doesn't have it all figured out? Rural life can be isolating, but it doesn't have to be.
Welcome to Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, the podcast for women who are craving connection, laughter, solidarity, camaraderie, and just overall encouragement in your everyday life and dreams.
Each week, your hosts, Annalise, that's me, and Courtney will cover topics such as farm life, mom life, making money online, side hustles, hobbies, sharing on social media, jobs off the farm, and so much more.
Us rural gals need to stick together, so saddle up for some fun, real, and unsolicited advice and stories from our everyday farm lives.
Grab a drink, we're Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, and we're here to help. Listen wherever you find podcasts.
Are you a new Longhorn breeder eager to educate yourself on market trends and sale prices? Stay in the loop with our text messages. Get the latest updates, events, and insider tips on all things Longhorns delivered straight to your phone.
Stay informed by texting website to 888-700-8131, then reply with Longhorns. That's website to 888-700-8131. Sign up today and take your breeding program to the next level.
Looking for top quality Longhorns and a taste of true Texas spirit? Look no further than Cantera Cattle Company. Our passion for Longhorns shines at Old Gringo Ranch, where tradition meets excellence. Visit us online at CanteraCattleCompany.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates and ranch life fun. Ready to experience it yourself? Schedule your visit by emailing canteracattle@gmail.com. Remember, God is great, Longhorns are good, and life is crazy.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit here and talk about websites. Now that you have your hired hand-powered website, what's your favorite feature to use, on the back end when you're updating it or maybe planning your breeding?
How easy it is. I'm not a great computer person, and I was afraid I was going to have to hire somebody to even, but not that. People at Hired Hand has been awesome setting that up. I would recommend it to anyone. The back end is so easy to put in, like when we work our cows and do tip to tip and vaccinate and stuff. I was scared to death of it, but it's really not. I mean, I promise y'all, if I can figure it out, anybody can. I mean, so it's very simple. Keying stuff in. I still need to slow down at work enough to have y'all walk me through it. Y'all have offered plenty of times. It's not on y'all's end, on my end. But yes, I'd recommend it to anyone.
Do you have any good stories you can share with us that your website has either brought you new contacts or relationships or maybe helped move a few animals you were looking to sell?
It has. I was very surprised. It wasn't long it was up. I sold 3 or 4 steers to a family in South Florida, and 10 hours away. And even today, this past week, I've already had a couple more inquiries. You just get an email from Hired Hand saying someone left you a message, and it's pretty simple, and then you can contact them and go from there.
Who is your personal favorite on your website?
It would be my favorite cow on there would be probably Horseshoe J Pam, just because of Jimmy Jones and just because the day I bought her and the road trip we're on. But yeah, I'd say overall she's my favorite.
What's your favorite Hired Hand website to visit besides your own?
Oh my goodness, I'm on Hired Hand website probably every night. Like I said, I always check usually Manning's, or I'm on Randy Murray's or Hudson's, or I just start playing in my head of people I've met at some sale, and I'll look them up. Miss Torkelson and Hudson Longhorns, and but yeah, I always laugh at Wayne because my wife has I think his website on her like very front page of her phone because she's always on it and sending text as, "Hey, is Wayne at a sale with you? Ask him about this cow," and I just start laughing. But yeah, I'm on Wayne's quite a bit.
How much time do you think you spend in a week on Longhorn websites?
Every night I'm on them, probably a couple hours a night, just trying to learn and see, if what bull was bred to what cow and what the calf looked like. Just trying to educate myself as much as I can. But I very seldom is there a night that goes by that I'm not on somebody's website looking at stuff.
Well, because you attend so many events in person, I'm not sure how your answer will be to this question, but do you find yourself using Hired Hand Live to participate in any auctions at all?
I have. My first year, actually, I purchased I think four or five animals the first year, and I'll even pre-bid on some, even though I know I'm going there. I'll go ahead and pre-bid on some because I've got called at a sale before and went and used the restroom and missed the cow that I was really interested in, and it was Miss Suzanne Torkelson's, and I had to come back. So I always like cover my base, and I'll go ahead and bid on some just in case I'm not there. And I've won some on hired hand, and even be at the sale before, just because I've made sure I was there or didn't miss out on the cow.
Have you ever run into any obstacles in terms of hauling or delivery or anything like that with, again, being kind of, out of the radius of some of the more popular events?
No, I have a young guy here in the area, so if I'm ever somewhere or need to go get something, he'll usually run and go do it. But he just actually went and picked a heifer up for me and drove 14 hours that way and 14 hours back. And he's young; he can drive all night. I can't do it anymore, but he can. So I personally don't have a problem. I'm lucky enough to have someone that'll do it for me if I need to. But yeah, I've been in a predicament or two before, though.
How do you use social media related to your program or related to just educating yourself more about the breed?
Well, I've just started using social media to try to promote my breed more with my daughter's got me involved in this TikTok thing, and so they helped me out a lot with it. I don't quite understand it, but I've started and actually had quite a few inquiries come through with it. But yes, I believe that's the age we're in now is social media. Everyone's on a phone. You can reach out to people anywhere. That's just the route we're going, and you're going to have to evolve with it or get left behind, one or the other. So I'm trying to learn. I'm not quite as good as I need to be, but I'm getting there, I think.
Well, it's nice that you have someone younger to help you as well. I feel like that always takes that learning curve off a little bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, are you up for a few rapid fire questions here?
Sure.
All right. What's your favorite farm tool?
Tractor.
What is your favorite thing to do in the pasture?
Just ride around and look at cows.
Do you have a favorite snack you like to snack on while you ride around? Or drink, beverage? I guess I should include that.
I'm a Little Debbie guy, unfortunately. I'm a Nutter Butter guy, so that's my downfall. I love my sweets.
I just saw, speaking of social media and speaking of Little Debbie, I just got served a video earlier today that said if you haven't ever tried a frozen, one of the like Little Debbie Christmas trees, to freeze it and it will change your life. So there's my advice for you today. You'll have to let me know how it is.
Oh my goodness, I may have to.
One word to describe your herd.
Color.
Is your dream ranch location Florida, or do you want to be somewhere else?
Well, being in the Longhorn business, of course, it'd be nice to live in Texas somewhere, but this is home, and I love where my ranch is located. We're way off the road, so I would stay where I'm at, but it'd be nice to have another ranch in Texas to make life easier, but I'm happy where I'm at.
Do you freeze or hot iron brand?
Hot.
Do you have a go-to feed or supplement for your herd?
We feed it's kind of a cube feed's what we feed to them.
Did you used to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire ever?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So if you only had one lifeline, one Longhorn lifeline, who would you call?
Terry.
Well, that's all my questions I had on the list today. What haven't we gone over that you want our listeners to know, whether it be about your program, about, just any advice you have overall, anything we haven't covered?
Well, pretty much. I didn't listen to them as well as I should have, but any new breeder needs to just, it's hard and it was hard on me, but take it slow. And I know everybody tells them that and everybody says they're going to and they never do. But I promise you, if you'll take it slow and be methodical and just listen to people, you can't gather enough information from the people that's been in the herd or in the business or people that have been around it a lot longer than you have. You have to listen and don't ever claim you know it all, because I promise you don't, and you will not ever. You can ask people like Terry or Jimmy or Mr. Hudson or any of them, and if you don't learn something every week, you're not in the right business. But I would just it's what I'd tell new breeders, because I was that, and I hadn't been quite as patient as I have, but they'll be patient. They'll have a good herd that they'll be proud of, I promise you.
I think that's great advice. You'll have to be a guest again in a few years so we can see how it's paid off for you.
I hope so.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. As always, if folks, have any questions or want to learn more, they can visit Travis's website. They can visit ours as well as our social media. And until next time, remember to appreciate the pastures that you roam and the traditions that make them special.
Thank you, Mel.
Overwhelmed with your digital chores? Let us lend a hand. From websites and animal management to internet auctions, graphic design, marketing, search engine optimization, and more, Hired Hand Software is your hired hand for all things digital.
Specializing in pedigree, livestock breeds, and beyond, we handle the tech so you can focus on the animals you love. Visit hiredhandsoftware.com today, where your digital chores just got a whole lot easier.
My guest is Travis Johnson, the Vice President of SETLA, the Southeastern Texas Longhorn Association. Well, how did you first get involved with your affiliate, the Southeastern Texas Longhorn Association?
When I was going over to Terry's hanging out, Tammy, his wife, had told me, Travis, you're in the Southeast, you need to join up with SETLA. And some of the guys I have met that was already in SETLA, Mike Gordy and Jeff Wilson and Mike Blundell and so forth. So I had joined up and just paid my dues and just started hanging out with them and learning more and more about it.
And how did that lead to you becoming vice president today?
Got asked if I wanted to by Mike Gordy, and we were changing our structure of SETLA a little bit. We were trying to bring some people in that more business oriented, that ran their own business or were in a business that made business decisions. And so that was the road. And because of, I assume because of me owning some businesses, they just invited me to come in.
And I think that brings up a good point. So how important do you think it is for those affiliates to function and have those business-minded individuals kind of guiding their growth and their strategies?
Oh, it's overwhelming how important it is. All these affiliates that are part of the TLBAA are so important to the industry. SETLA alone, because we're kind of not out, we're like the redheaded stepchildren. We're out here by ourselves a little bit. It's nice to have our affiliate where we can talk and we run through the same problems at the same time. Like if one of us is in a drought, the other one's usually in it too, and we can talk amongst ourselves of what each other's doing. So, and the business side of it is very important because, let's get right down to it. The Longhorn business is a business and it's got to be ran as one. You can't just do things off of a whim, especially in a nonprofit organization. It's got to be ran correctly. So I believe it's very important to be ran by people that are business oriented. And right now, SETLA is in a good place. We have a great board, got a good president, Mr. Jeff Wilson. He's really brought us a long ways. Our board is great to work with. When we have our meetings online, the participation is very good. And everyone gets along. That's also a good thing. So if anybody disagrees, we usually talk it out. I'm very happy where SETLA is today.
Well, let's simplify things a little bit just in case some folks listening, are just getting started. But just go ahead and break down for us like what exactly an affiliate is and what role they typically play within the industry for individuals.
So the TLBAA, if I'm not mistaken, is the main affiliate that overlooks all our Texas Longhorn Association. And then each part of the country has their own affiliates. The Southeast that I'm part of, we consist, and I'm probably going to leave a state out, but like Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North and South Carolina, and I think part of Virginia. It's very, very important because I think as it's kind of like anything with the government, if you've got like the president and all of them, they sit up here and only the senators, only the big guys can talk, and the little guys usually scared to go before them. Where you have your small government or our small affiliates, they're not afraid to bring up topics or ideas that we can pass on to the TLBAA. So I believe it helps the whole industry because the TLBAA then gets information from different parts of the country, and they're not so much worried about what's going on in Texas or Oklahoma or that area. They can get it from Oregon, California, and from our East Coast too. So it's very important.
Are there any projects currently that multiple affiliates are working towards or on together?
We are actually working. The SETLA is we're having our annual meeting the 1st of January. We're having it in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And that's what our meeting's going to be about is a discussion of for 2025, what are we going to be working with. I've become good friends with Josh and Brittany Gentry, and Jeff and I have spoke, and we're going to talk more. I don't want to talk too much about it till we get to our meeting, but we're talking to them about the Horn Showcase and some other stuff. So I just, like I said before, I love the direction we're going, and we plan on being hopefully more involved in a lot more stuff in 2025.
How do Texas Longhorn affiliates in general support breeders at different stages in their journey, everyone from beginnings to experienced breeders?
The affiliates, like ourselves, I always tell all of our members that if you sell a cow to an individual and you sell one and he's only got one or two, talk him into joining the SETLA, not for the money, but for the knowledge that he needs, because Longhorns are different than all cattle. So he'll have questions, and it's easy to ask these questions online, and we're easy to get a hold of. I believe these affiliates are very important for the beginning cattle guys, and it's very helpful with the people like I keep saying their names: Terry, Jimmy, Nancy. The ones that's been in a long time. They're easy to get a hold of, and we have them listed on our website. Not all websites carry all producers, but like in the Southeast, we list everyone so that if a new breeder gets in there and has questions, it's one click away, and usually all of us answer the phone right away.
Let's talk a little bit about networking and community building. What roles do affiliates play in building a sense of community among breeders in your region?
I believe because we do a lot of stuff for our local people. We like at our meeting we're having in January, we'll pull vets in, and they're going to talk to the producers and breeders about different things to do with your Longhorn cattle in our area. The affiliates do a lot for their local breeders.
How important do you think it is for those local breeders who take Longhorn breeding as a business to use those affiliates for networking and resources and sharing knowledge and opportunities?
It's very important because you can use that as a stepping stone to get into the TLBAA. Even though we operate by the same guidelines, they use us affiliates to not to promote themselves, but we try to, as the president Jeff and myself, we try to do things on our website to help promote each of our members on our website to help maybe promote them to the TLBAA and to the rest of the country.
What are some of the most frequently asked questions that you receive from people interested in joining it before they purchase Longhorns?
Most of them, it's like everything. They want to know what their money, if they pay to be a part of the SETLA, what is my money going toward? Why would I want to spend that when I can do it myself? That's the reason Jeff and myself and his wife, Marcia, and the rest of the board, we got our website up and running. We've got everything published. We can take a small 5 or 6 head Longhorn person and expose them to maybe make it a full-time business. So that's the big thing that we try to promote to anybody that wants to join it, that you will get your money's worth if you use us correctly. You can.
So, you're a board member, and prior to that, you were, just a general member. What are some other ways that breeders or Longhorn enthusiasts can get involved with their local affiliates?
Participation in anything. For instance, we sent out an email to all of our members that we want to help promote themselves. Send us in a story and we'll publish it. We need our members to be part of the organization, and we're here to help you. It's not that we're just sitting back wanting to do anything. If you'll want to participate, they'll help you out.
Is there any other advice that you would give to someone who's new to the community and looking to join an affiliate?
Yes, join them. I mean, it's the best thing you can do, I promise you, because the education that you will get and, meeting people, your local people in your area. I mean, that's our biggest thing here in the Southeast is sometimes we don't have all the resources for the Longhorns like some people do. But when you reach out and you're part of an affiliate, we all work together, and usually you can find your answers. And I'd highly recommend any new breeder to join.
Well, I know this is something I probably should have looked up prior to our talk today, so I'm not sure how many affiliates there are across the country, but just speaking generally, overall, how do you think that all of those different affiliates contribute to the overall strength and growth of the breed?
Yeah, like I'm probably being redundant, but yes, I believe it's the backbone of the TLBAA. Without the affiliates, I don't know if we'd have near the participation and the new members joining the TLBA if it wasn't for the affiliate.
So I know a while back, one of the events that there used to be, I think every February, it was the TLBGCA cattle baron sales. So that affiliate put on a sale and a futurity and everything. Do you see that a lot among other affiliates? Is that possibly in the plans for you all down there in Florida, or how does that look?
Yes, we've been to quite a few sales. Dan Huntington's in Wisconsin. I went to it this year, and yes, that is one of our goals. Jeff and I had talked about it, and we're going to take our time getting into doing our first futurity and sale. We're going to work some in the back to learn it. When we put it on, we want to make sure it's first class. So yes, we're thinking probably 2026, because this year we're going to get participation, and we have a location in mind already. So probably not 25, but 26, we should be putting one on.
No, you're not going to do anything crazy and make it part of like Panama City Spring Break Week or anything, are you?
We don't like week. No, ma'am. I don't think they have many working pens at Panama City Beach.
Yeah, it might be a little problem. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to answer this question. It's kind of just your personal beliefs. But what do you think is the future role of affiliates within the industry overall?
Oh, yeah. The future of them is I believe of what the affiliates put into it. And by what I mean by that is each region, like our SETLA, the more you put into it, the stronger it is. And that's the reason I believe we are headed in the right direction now, because I believe we're getting stronger and stronger. And as we work together, I believe it is the moving force of the whole TLBAA.
What states does SETLA represent, or, what states are involved?
I may miss one, but I know it's Florida, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, maybe West Virginia.
Well, where can our listeners go to find more information about affiliates and SETLA?
We have a website, SETLA. If you type it into the search engine, you'll find it, and it has a list of all our board of directors, our vice president, president, and secretary, and it has a way there you can join by a click. We've got it up and running thanks to Hired Hand, and that's the best way to get a hold of and get started.
I have to say, when I was reviewing the site before our interview here, I really do like the page where you have the stories about the breeders. I thought that was a really nice touch and a great way to spread the word about just, different levels of involvement and different styles of breeding in your area. So that was a nice touch.
Thank you. Yeah, we sent out an email every month and asked all of our members to send us in a picture and a story, and we'll put it on there.
Were there any final words of encouragement or advice you have for listeners who might be considering joining SETLA or their local affiliate?
My word would be join them and be part of it and be very productive in it, because it'll take your area and your breed a long way.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time today to talk through this with us.
Yeah, thank you.